Hello and welcome to another in our series of short videos on the labour market. This one focuses on occupational immobility. Mobility is the ability of people to switch between different jobs, different occupations. And occupational mobility is affected, for example, by the level of transferable skills and also the educational requirements of jobs. Those jobs are changing all the time. What we see happening, of course, is an inevitable, some would say an increasingly accelerating process of structural employment change in the country. We've noticed the decline of heavy manufacturing, such as steel, heavy engineering. We've seen a shift towards the service sector. We've seen the impact of foreign competition taking an increasing share of domestic demand, outsourcing of production to lower cost countries overseas. And crucially, one of the big defining issues of our age, the process of capital labour substitution, the impact of robotics, for example, on many jobs. So we see a process of structural employment change, and that can lead to unemployment, particularly when there is a high level of occupational immobility. So occupational immobility happens when there are barriers to the mobility of labour between different industries, and that can lead to unemployment or workers being used inefficiently. An obvious example, given recent developments in the steel sector, is that workers who might have been made redundant in the steel industry, they may be highly skilled, but the skills they have are specific to the industry and not necessarily transferable to those needed in the growing sectors. So occupational immobility leads to structural unemployment. That is a deadweight waste of scarce resources, and of course it represents a clear form of labour market failure. In the UK in the summer of 2016, despite unemployment falling below 5% of the labour force, there were still 750,000 unfilled job vacancies. And occupational, as well as geographical immobility, must lie at the heart of that factor. And another aspect of occupational immobility is the relatively high level of long-term unemployment. Although the total level of unemployment has shown a welcome fall in recent years, the number of people who've been out of work for at least 6 months, at least a year, and if you look at the yellow area of this chart, at least 2 years, remains pretty high. Around 35 to 40% of UK unemployment is long term. In other words, people who've been out of work for at least a year. And one of the big challenges for the UK economy, one of the big supply side challenges, is to bring down the level of long-term structured unemployment. To do that, the economy must address the issue of occupational immobility.